What's up? It's your boy Carcino here, and let's get into it. Hopefully, you guys have all got the notification. That's why you're here. Don't forget to subscribe to the page, and when you click the notification bell, they give you an option. Make sure you choose all. Okay, so if you're not getting your notifications and everything like that, definitely check make sure, even if you're subscribed, go click that bell and make sure it's on all. Because if you're not getting your notification, that's the excuse they can give you for not, sending it your way. Now that we're through with those preliminaries, we can get to why we are here. Now, in case you've been under a rock in the sports world, you know that Cris Carter was let go from not just First Things First, but from Fox Sports, period. And it did not have a great ending. It was abrupt and disrespectful and insulting. And it comes as a shock to some of the other people that work with him and worked alongside him, those who are still friends with Cris. And it put those who work closely with him on the show in a tight spot because they love and support Cris, but this is their job. It's not a who's coming with me type of moment. Cris Carter personally selected Nick Wright and Jenna Wolf to be on that show with him. He was the host of the show, and he chose Nick to be second chair. He had his choice of selections. Actually, Fox Sports chose someone else. We're not going to say who, but they made a suggestion to someone else besides Nick. Cris selected Nick because it was a better fit. And the network agreed. It was a better fit. Now, what the network wants to do, and I agree with the network, is to always keep diversity down. When they started the show, and this is what Jamie brought to the forefront, is that when they started the show together, it was always key to have a situation in place where you have one black, one white. You got one black, one white. Now, when you have that situation going, you have a different dynamic than having two black guys there or two white guys. When you have that different racial dynamic debating, you're getting both audience. And that's what happened when they had Stephen A. Smith, Skip Bayless. You had high numbers from different demographics. So when they started the Undisputed show with Shannon and Skip, you had the best of two dynamics. Most of the blacks who watch listen to Skip, Shannon Sharp, and the other whites, they mostly listen to Skip Bayless. Now, you look at the situation here and say to yourself, okay, First Things First is a show that comes on early in the morning. It was starting to get a lot of push for people who get up early, and a lot of them listening to the podcast radio as they drive to work in the morning. Now, they were getting their listeners. Show is doing well, but when you abruptly change the show, and people are not there by contract, what they're doing is auditioning and trying to see what fits and what don't fit. So immediately they grabbed the first black guy they could find who had a suit and set him in the chair. And then Canty was brought on to the show. And Chris Canty is not better than Chris. He's not. No, it's just it's not a really a good fit. It's a good for a substitute teacher, you know. But it's not somebody that the public is really going to gravitate to. Nobody's going to gravitate to Canty. So I'm quite sure they're going to figure that out pretty sooner than later. But word around the campfire is that a meeting was held this week, this Tuesday actually, and during this meeting, Nick Wright is getting his contract extended, and it will now be his show. The show will be Nick's. Nick has been promoted, and because Nick is promoted, he will be first chair. That's the talk around the town, and that's the talk of what the meeting was about. That Nick is getting first chair. That used to be Chris's. Now Nick Wright will be first chair. It's Nick's show now, and they're trying to find him someone that will be fitting for second chair. And that's where the show is right now. Now a lot of brothers are telling me they do not buy that the white boy didn't sell out Chris so he could steal his show. Because, you know, that's the narrative people take. That could be furthest from the truth. Nick Wright, in case you guys haven't noticed, has been married to a black woman and have 3 interracial children. Him and Chris are very good friends. They hang out and spend family time together with Chris and the new wife. You know, they went out to Lakers games, and Lakers played the Knicks or something like that. I don't know who was playing who at the time, but they spent time together watching games and actually knowing about each other. So this is not a Nick Wright issue with Chris being on the show. It's not a Nick Wright thing. Nick did not weasel him out of a job. Chris is the only person that cost Chris a job. So let that sink in. Chris is the only person that caused Chris to lose his job. So let that sink in. Cris Carter has been dealing with substance abuse his whole life. He says he's an addict, and he's always an addict, and he's always fighting. And that's a very good thing to be fighting against, you know, an addiction. We all have some type of addiction that we're fighting that we probably haven't even shared to the world. But you're fighting the addiction. You're not giving in to it. So on that note, I'm proud of him for staying clean, doing what he got to do, despite all the vices that could be pulling him back to that direction. And another word of note for Chris and anyone else that's listening. Just because, you know, Chris, when you go through these programs, they try to get you addicted to the Bible, you know, faith, religion. Have something to look forward to, something to believe in, something to try to work your way towards. Some go to exercise to keep their minds. You're preoccupied now. You have a new addiction, one that's positive, that's paying off and revenue, and dividends to you rather than to taken away from you. So with that note, this is the best move. And I just hope you guys have a clear understanding that, Nick Wright don't have the I'm gonna sell the brother out mentality. That was not the case at all. So, I mean, that's that. I mean, Nick Wright has been around blacks his entire life. All right, he's he's used to the abuse. He's used to, you know, but people have accepted him. He's one of their own. Some people agree with him, some people don't. But no way is that gonna ride. Like Nick would not throw Cris under the bus like that. And for what? Cris has never done anything to him to make him say, you know what, I'm finna go throw you under the bus. If anything, he feel indebted. Like, man, this guy gave me the opportunity to really, do something in this game and be on a major network and take it, go to this level I'm at now on this show. I was a guest on the Undisputed for a while, and then I was here, and then we co-hosted Undisputed, and here we are. So, anyhow, I'm going to get out of here. Don't forget, hit the Cash App up. My Cash App name is Carcino. You can click the link in the description box. Hit up that Streamlab. For those who made the live stream when we did the picture-in-picture yesterday, that was cool. It was fun. I enjoyed it myself. Hopefully we could do that again down the road. And that was good, man. But I'm out of here. YouTube premiere, thank you. Those who did get notifications, I hope all of you are here because you did get your notifications. Everyone else, I'll talk to you later.